Hey everyone, Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to another edition of Crimes of the Week International.
Police in Scotland say that they're currently searching for the culprits behind the theft of a 500-year-old stone mill which was stolen from the Aberdour Castle earlier this month. The theft occurred sometime between noon on the 17th and 10 a.m. on the 18th, and authorities have said that at least 2 people would have had to have been involved due to the weight of the stone. According to reports, the castle has become a problem area for police as of late, and they have received numerous reports of young people engaging in, quote, antisocial behavior at the site. Aberdour Castle is one of the oldest in Scotland, with parts of it being built all the way back in the 13th century. The location was featured in the hit TV series Outlander, where it played the part of a Benedictine monastery.
On Monday, police in Tokyo arrested a man on suspicion of theft and trespassing after he allegedly pulled off a bizarre heist at a specialty store selling trading cards and video games. The crime took place at approximately 5 a.m. on March 23rd, and reportedly began when 28-year-old Kensuke Nakanishi attached a rope to the roof of the building where the business was located. He then used his skills as a rock climber to rappel down to the 6th floor, where he smashed a window and gained access to the store. Nakanishi is said to have made off with about 300,000 yen, or about $2,700 US in cash, as well as 80 Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading cards worth about 1 million yen, or roughly $9,000 US. He later told police that he had committed the crime to pay off a debt. He was identified as a suspect thanks to security camera footage located at the building.
Police in the Indian city of Bangalore say that they have arrested a 31-year-old man this week after he hid under a cot for more than 6 hours to murder his wife's lover. According to reports, the suspect, Bharat Kumar, and his wife had separated after 8 years of marriage when she started an affair with a man known as Shivaraj. After moving out of the family home, Bharat's wife continued to see Shivaraj, and he decided to kill the man for, quote, ruining his family. At approximately 9 p.m. on March 24th, Bharat showed up at his wife's home and snuck inside after she went out for food and forgot to lock the door. He then waited under a cot until 3 a.m. when Shivaraj was asleep and his wife got up to go to the bathroom. After locking her inside, Bharat proceeded to strangle Shivaraj and also stabbed him 3 times in the abdomen. He died from his injuries, and Bharat was arrested at the scene. He confessed to the murder and he's expected to appear in court soon.
This week, authorities in Ecuador announced that they had seized an illegal shipment of 185 baby tortoises, which were being smuggled from the Galapagos Islands to the mainland. The tortoises were found in a suitcase at Seymour Airport on the island of Baltra and had been wrapped in plastic, presumably to immobilize them so that they wouldn't arouse suspicion while the bag was being x-rayed. According to reports, Galapagos tortoises have become frequent targets in the illegal animal trading market, as juveniles can be sold to collectors as exotic pets for up to $5,000 each. Sadly, it was reported that as many as 15 of the baby tortoises had died, some likely due to the stress that they endured after being separated from their habitat. Authorities say that they have since arrested a police officer in connection with the illegal shipment, and have charged him with a crime against the country's wild flora and fauna. If convicted, he could serve up to 3 years in prison.
This week, Italian police announced that a wanted mafia member had been busted in an unexpected way. He had been tracked down thanks to a YouTube cooking channel he started with his wife. According to reports, Mark Farron Claude Bayart, a member of the notorious 'Ndrangheta crime syndicate, has been on the run for 7 years and was wanted for trafficking cocaine from the Netherlands since 2014. After fleeing Europe, Bayart had managed to lay low in the Dominican Republic for 5 years. That was until his desire to share his love of cooking got the better of him. Though he was careful to hide his face on camera, he neglected to cover distinctive tattoos on his body that authorities were able to use to ID him. Following an international effort led by Interpol and in cooperation with multiple European police forces, Byart was arrested in the town of Boca Chica and has since been extradited to Italy.
This week, police in the Chinese county of Kunshan announced that they had busted what they called the world's biggest video game cheating operation. The illegal organization, known as Chicken Drumstick, reportedly ran a website that sold cheats and hacks to hundreds of countries and regions around the world. By charging client subscription fees of around $10 a day and up to $200 a month, the operation was able to bring in an estimated $76 million in revenue. Chicken Drumstick was busted thanks to a collaborative effort between Kunshan police and Chinese gaming giant Tencent. Police are said to have arrested 10 people in connection with the organization, seizing $46 million in assets, including several luxury cars. They also reportedly destroyed 17 cheats that the ring had been selling for games like Call of Duty and Overwatch. The bust comes as massive gaming companies like Tencent are attempting to crack down on cheating in online games, something they claim has become an increasing problem in recent years. As esports continue to explode in relevance and revenue generation across the world, companies see these kinds of cheats as a growing threat to the industry.
This week, it was announced that a South Australian man had been sentenced to 34 years in prison without parole for the senseless murder of his 19-year-old son, as well as the teenager's girlfriend. According to reports, 46-year-old Pavel Klazowski killed Lucas Klazowski and Chelsea Ireland at his home in Mount McIntyre last August. In his guilty plea, Klazowski admitted to shooting his son twice while he attempted to run away, after which he reloaded his gun and fired 2 more shots through a locked bathroom door where Chelsea was desperately attempting to call for help. The deaths of the 2 teenagers shocked and devastated the local community, who have since mourned the 2 innocent lives that were tragically cut short. Chelsea had been studying to be a mechanical engineer, while Lucas was an aspiring journalist.
A 50-year-old cage fighting coach and former MMA fighter was found guilty of murdering his ex-girlfriend this week, as well as attempting to murder her 15-year-old lover. According to reports, Paul Robson viciously attacked 47-year-old Caroline Kale at her home in Northumberland weeks after they had split up. Prior to the attack, he had discovered that Kale was in an illicit relationship with a 15-year-old boy and had blackmailed her for a sum of £29,000, or approximately $40,000 US. Though Kale believed she had bought Robson's silence, he showed up at her home on November 15, 2020, and proceeded to attack her, throwing her to the ground and kicking her in the head repeatedly while wearing steel-toed boots. She would later die from her injuries in the hospital. After the attack on Kale, Robson turned his attention to her teenage lover, stabbing him numerous times and inflicting other serious injuries. Miraculously, however, he was able to survive. Authorities quickly suspected Robson of the crime after they found CCTV footage of him lurking outside Kale's house. He fled to Glasgow, but was apprehended after only 6 days. At trial, Robson was convicted of murder, attempted murder, and blackmail. He is expected to serve a minimum of 35 years in prison for the combined crimes. It appears that this is just the latest tragic incident in Robson's long criminal history. He has served time at least twice before, once in 2005 and again in 2014 for drugs and firearms-related offenses. That brings us to the end of this edition of Crimes of the Week International. If you're a fan of the new series, don't forget to tell us in the comment section below. While you're there, make sure to subscribe to Crime Zone for more true crime content like this, making sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest videos. Thank you for watching.